Survivor's ready. Go!
Travis spoken.
Boston Rob and Amber are gonna do it.
This is a business trip, as I like to say.
You, Brad Culpepper.
I'm tired of you and the fucking chicken.
You can call me the puppet master. They can be my little puppets.
It's not like you're making me deal with the devil here.
You get to milk your own milk, I guess.
Who the hell voted for me? Chicken.
Damn! We got enough rocks here, too. We could build a pretty decent shelter just using rocks.
I'm supposed to talk Latin to you. You understand that better?
Direct from Hobart, it's time for the only Survivor podcast in Australia dedicated to Survivor, bringing you all the latest interviews, episodes, and opinions from the greatest reality show on the planet. It's Survivor Oz, and here's your host, Ben Waterworth.
It is Survivor Oz, Australia's number one TV and film podcast, as we continue on with our Survivor Second Chance interviews, our campaign interviews, and it's a big pleasure to welcome back our next guest. She competed on the 29th season of San Juan del Sur, and is one of 32 people in with a shot of returning for season 31. It is the one, the only Miss Kelley Wentworth. Kelley, welcome back to Survivor Oz.
Hey, the one and the only. I like that.
Yes, well, there's only one of you, the only one of you, and that's all that matters, isn't it?
I know. Well, I'm so close to Kelley Wigglesworth. I'm really hoping people can recognize the difference there.
There's an E in the name, like, surely people can see the spelling, like, come on.
I hope so. Fingers crossed.
But, first of all, we'll say congratulations for being considered at all. I mean, it's obviously, it's a big thrill, and no doubt for you, it's been a bit of a busy week and a bit campaigning. How are you finding all this, Kelley?
Oh my gosh, it's very overwhelming. I wish the voting had been maybe a week, because trying to ask people for votes for 2 weeks is exhausting. So thank you to everyone that has continued to vote every day. I'm sorry if it's gotten to be a bit of a pain, but I appreciate every single one of your votes. You are amazing.
It must be an honour in itself to just be asked back, as I said, because, I mean, you're only on Survivor, or at least on our screens, 6-7 months ago. So for this to sort of come so quickly after your first time, I mean, did you think it would come back so quickly, an opportunity to return?
Yeah, I had no idea. I mean, I feel super grateful that I'm on this list. I know they had, a lot of good people, and they kind of narrowed it down to 32. So I feel amazing. It means a lot to me, and I'm excited to potentially go back out there and try it again.
How have you been campaigning? I've been seeing a lot of the things you're posting out there. You're very clever, I feel, Kelley, and you're getting a lot of people involved. But give us some advice in terms of what you've been trying to really target when it comes to your voting campaign.
Yeah, well, I'm just trying to have fun. I think, whatever the results are, win or lose, hopefully I do make it out there. I mean, obviously that's the goal, but I just want to have fun, and I want people to have fun with me. So I created this little campaign video, and I've offered trail mix to everyone if I win the $1 million, and I'm going to find Colleen Haskell, and it's just meant to be fun. So I've really enjoyed doing that, and just been on social media, and my dad, Farm Guy 69, is going around trying to get the word out, and I have my mom doing some stuff. So, I'm just interacting with fans, and that's what I've always done. Like, the fans are awesome, so just continuing to do what I've always done.
So just to go back, you committed to finding Colleen Haskell.
Yeah, you have to watch the video.
Right.
Have you seen my campaign video yet?
Clearly I haven't, have I? So
Oh my gosh, you have to go watch. It's it's all over my Twitter, so go check it out.
I saw a screen cap of it. Does that count?
You have to see the whole thing to really, see what I'm talking about.
Right. I've had a bit to do in the last week, Kelley.
Well, me too.
Well, true. Yes, exactly. Yours is probably a bit more important. Well, I look, if you're trying to get Colleen Haskell, please vote for Kelley, because we've been trying to do that in this show for 3.5 years, and the most we've gotten is a Twitter account and a former agent of hers. So, yeah.
Go. See, I'm trying to help out the people.
Yes,
come on, guys.
Exactly.
Vote for Wentworth.
Vote for Wentworth. How have you found your dad with it? Because I've seen a lot of what your dad's been posting out there, so clearly he's behind it. And also fellow San Juan del Sur cast, because they've got a few other people too that they can possibly vote for this season.
Right. Yeah. My dad is is totally supportive. I think, like anyone who's been on before, he would have loved to have gotten the call and been on the cast as well, or potentially, be in the running to get a second chance. But he is super supportive. I mean, I could not ask for anything more. If he can't go back, he wants a Wentworth to get back on there and win the whole thing. So he's been great. And there are some other San Juan del Sur people in the mix, and thank you. Like Natalie has posted a couple things supporting me, as well as Jeremy and Keith. So everyone's been fantastic.
It's good to hear, and I guess I know you've obviously talked a lot on this show, other shows, and a lot about your game first time around, how playing with your dad obviously affected your chances. So I mean, in terms of the title Second Chance, you're really feeling that this is that opportunity for you to actually show what you're capable of without having your dad out there to affect your game.
Yeah, absolutely. And I want to say to anyone that's listening, I've kind of gotten some bad feedback because people are like, oh, you can't blame your father for losing. Like, come on, people. I'm not blaming my dad. I have said that anyone that plays with a loved one should want to go back and try the game themselves, because it's just very difficult to play with a loved one. So for the record, I am not blaming my father for my exit off of Survivor. We were in it together. We decided to go on the show together. I'm just asking for the chance to go out there and play my own game. I mean, I want to be able to go further, to make it all the way. I want to show you my game. Like, you haven't seen what I can do. And I think that's super exciting. Like, I hope other people think that too. So
I think it's the case with anybody from a Blood vs. Water season, which makes it fascinating. Obviously the San Juan del Sur people, yourself, Keith, Jeremy, and of course looking back to the first Blood vs. Water season, a Sierra, a Vitas, a Brad, how will they compare differently when they don't have a loved one, because you guys come from very unique seasons which very much affected the way you played and the circumstances that surrounded you.
Yeah, I mean, that's exactly it. Like, it's not just me who I think, wants to play an individual game. I mean, you have Sierra in the mix, you have Vitas, you have these other people that played on a Blood versus Water season, and I'm sure, they want to be able to go out there without a loved one in their mind and play their own game as well. Blood versus Water is a special circumstance. It's very difficult because you are thinking for two people, so I just want to go out there and rock it by myself, just Kelley Wentworth, I'm going to do my own thing.
I feel the fans have really gotten behind everything that you've been posting, even, a fan like myself who hasn't even watched your damn video, but
yeah, you're in trouble. What the hell?
I know, right?
It's literally a minute long. Like, I tried to make it short and sweet, so you have to go watch it. I will post it on your Twitter page right now.
Please do. Okay. Tag me. Does it make up for the fact that I've been voting for you every day? Can I admit that on air?
Oh, okay. I guess that makes up for it. Right, but cool. You have to get the full, Kelley Wentworth campaign experience.
The full experience. Okay.
The full experience,
okay.
Yeah.
Okay, I get that. But have you been finding sort of the fans' reactions fun? Because, again, they've been engaging with it a lot. We just did an exit poll where we asked people to tell us who they're voting for, and the fans have put you on. You're in our top 10, apparently, according to our listeners, which is great. So, I mean, clearly the fan interactions and everything so far doing very well for you.
Yeah, I hope so. And I hope, I think for me, since I've been off the show, like, I've always interacted with the fans. It's fun for me. Like, I like it. I didn't just come out of the woodworks when this was announced, like, oh God, I need your votes. Like, I hope people know I'm super genuine, and I've always been that way. Like, I love interacting. I think, the biggest hurdle for me is that some people are like, I don't want to see you again. You're really boring. I'm like, well, you know what? That's super shitty. That sucks. Because I was in 5 episodes. 3 of those episodes, Hunapu won immunity, so there wasn't a lot going on around camp. But, think about the Drew episode. That was one of my favorite episodes to watch. So
how can we forget the Drew episode, people?
Thank you, right? It was amazing. So anyway, I appreciate all the fan support, and I just hope that some of these polls are correct and that I'm in that top 10, man. I'm excited.
Well, it's I've seen a few of them now, and you seem to feature in pretty much all of the ones I've seen. So is that nerve-wracking? Does that kind of add to it because you kind of feel like, hey, I'm in with a real shot here, or do you just try to block those out? I feel like it's a politician when they get those opinion polls. Like, they want to admit that they like them, but deep down they're trying to not take too much attention of them.
Oh man, it's hard to say. I mean, you see those polls, and if you're in the top 10, you're like, yes, I'm in there. And if you're not, you're like, damn it, I'm one away. But at the end of the day, you just never know. I mean, these polls are just an example of how people are voting, but you don't know if everyone is submitting their votes and what they're doing. You don't know how, I have friends and family voting. I have people in different states. So you just don't know where all those other votes are going to shake out. Yeah. So all I can do at this point is cross my fingers. Just, I've done my best, and that's all I wanted to do. I wanted to go out of this no matter what, no regrets, I just did everything I could, and if it's meant to be, it will be. So keep voting. There are only 3 days left.
There are.
3 days, that's it. And then my Twitter, I'm not going to be on Twitter for a week. I'm taking a break. Oh my God.
Well, but you might be taking a bit more than a week's break, Kelley, hopefully. So
that's the goal. I hope so. I hope I'm just shipped off on that long flight and game over.
Make the most of Kelley Wentworth on Twitter for the remaining couple of days, folks, because no matter what, you're not going to hear from her for a little bit.
Seriously, I'm going off the grid no matter what happens.
How have I've been asking this question to all the candidates, and of course I don't expect you to name names, but when you look at the list of people that you're up against, are you already kind of looking at people that perhaps you've been fans of, that you'd like to work with, some people that you're automatically like, shit, I'm staying clear of them? I mean, how are you kind of working that out in your head?
Run away.
We're looking at you, Max. No, I'm kidding.
No, Max Dawson. Come on, love you, dude.
Yes.
Can't get over the beard. No. It's hard because you look at that list and some of those people haven't played for so long. So in my mind, I'm kind of curious, how are they going to adapt and how is this all going to work out? And how are we going to be divided into tribes? And there's all these things that go through your mind, and it just can drive a person crazy. So I've tried to stop thinking about it a little bit. And the other crazy aspect of this is that we have no idea who's going to be out there. So for me to be thinking what about this person, it's I'm just kind of filling my head with all these thoughts that may not even matter because we don't even know who's going to make it on the show. There's so many different scenarios. So I just tried to stop thinking about it, to be honest with you.
And is that the same when it comes to potentially changing anything to do with your gameplay? Because, again, circumstances affect that, no doubt. On day one, you might go in there thinking this is what I'm going to do differently, but you get out there on day one and they could spring it that, hey, it actually is blood versus water again, folks. Here's your other loved one.
Oh, my God, I would cry. Oh, God, please no Jeff Probst. Oh, my goodness. Okay, so let's get that idea out of our heads right now.
Okay,
blood versus water.
Yes.
I think it's hard to say. I think everyone, including myself, has a game plan going in. But until you see how those tribes are going to be put together, it's kind of you just have to go with the flow until you hit that beach and know who you're with. We've seen every season, every tribe is different, the dynamics are different, the people are different. So that's one of the aspects of being a good Survivor player, is just adapting to who you're with, the situations that you're in, etc.
I would love them on Wednesday night to announce the cast and then say, Jeff Probst, this game is starting now. You're doing a challenge.
On stage?
Yes, having a massive thing.
Imagine?
They could do it because we all know who you're on the cast. So why not?
Oh my gosh, that would be crazy, right? It's some sort of just intense physical challenge where you're mud wrestling on stage. That'd be pretty sweet.
You're all dressed up, ready to go, and then you're actually live in front of millions in America. Just battling it out.
Holy crap, that would be crazy. Oh my gosh. Now you have me thinking about all sorts of different things. So thank you.
No, you're welcome. I was even going to suggest they could do sort of a Palau twist and eliminate two of you on the spot, but...
schoolyard pick? Oh, my gosh. How brutal would that be? The only worse thing than being voted out first would be, not picked for a tribe and sorry, you did all this work and bye. Yeah. Oh, my God. That's horrible.
Are you thinking much about Wednesday night? Because, you get to go to back-to-back reunions as well. Let's not forget that. But, it's kind of interesting to think that there's going to be a bunch of 12 people who are going to be having to be oh, I'm so happy for those people, but I'm so upset right now.
I'm going to be happy for them. Oh, hell no. Those six women are going to be given the stink eye to the 10 people that made it. They're going to be doing the golf clap, oh, I'm so happy for you, but inside they're secretly just pissed off. Yeah, that's a brutal thought.
I'm not trying to make you think like that because you're going to be on the 10, of course, Kelley. But
oh yeah, keep those votes coming, guys. We got this.
Yes.
Yeah, it's kind of, it's hard. I mean, I know I've seen Jeff Probst tweet out a couple things like, oh, all these season 32 people, like, they have guts, like, they have balls, like, they're going on national TV, and they're just, this is what I love about them, and that's all fine and dandy, but it is going to be devastating for 12 people, because, to be honest with you, I think the 12 people that don't make it probably won't be asked back. So this is really it in my mind.
I've heard that, and I've also heard a few people say that, well, look, they might be because they're being considered, but it's interesting because if you look at some of, I guess, the older school players, maybe you might think this is definitely their last shot. Not trying to spruik them over yourself because you're on a more recent season, Kelley, but it's I don't know. It's going to be interesting to see how this plays out because we haven't had returning players in a few seasons. It's weird saying that because we were so used to having returning players for a while there. So it's kind of thinking like, well, no matter what with this season, does this open the door for another season like this where we get to vote people back on if this is a success?
Yeah, maybe. You never know. I mean, they seem to be happy with the 32, and Probst has gone on record saying he'd be happy with any mix that gets on. So I think it all depends, how the season turns out. If it's a great season, hopefully it's as exciting as something like Heroes versus Villains.
Yep.
And if it is, then this could be something they do again. You never know.
Well, I'm one of the few All-Stars fans out there, Kelley. So I think the 2 full returning player seasons that we've had are in the top 5 seasons of all time. So, look, yeah. I'm expecting big things. I want somebody from that 12 that doesn't make it to do a Kanye West and jump up on stage and steal the microphone away from Jeff Probst. I really want that to happen.
Oh my gosh, wouldn't that be great?
It would be hilarious. I want you to be in that 20, Kelley, but if for whatever reason you don't make it, can you please go all Kanye West for me on Wednesday night?
Go Kanye West on you. Oh man, I need to just channel my inner, whatever.
Inner Jesus.
Well, listen, I am confident. I feel good. So yeah, I feel like I'm going to be in that 20. So hopefully I don't have to go all Kanye on Jeff Probst's ass. But if I do, then I'll give you a shout out.
Good. I look forward to it. But I guess too, in terms of a couple of people that you're competing against, I mean, this season, Worlds Apart, we don't know the winner. 2 of the people are, of course, on this list. I mean, just a general question. How have you found this season in general? And how are you looking at, say, Mike and Carolyn when you don't know their full story, where everybody else you can look at how their season's actually played out because you've seen where they're finished?
Yeah, as far as the season, I have enjoyed it. I think it's difficult when Jeff Probst says at the beginning of the season, this is the best cast, and this is the best season, and you're kind of setting yourself up for failure, because if it's not, then we're going to have what we're having now. I've seen a lot of people talking about how they hate this season, and worst Final 5, and yada yada. So I've enjoyed it. I have kind of not enjoyed all of the drama. I mean, I like drama, but this isn't the real world. We want to see more strategy and gameplay just throughout. But Mike and Carolyn being in the mix for the voting, it's really weird because, their campaign videos, for example, they can't really say, why they need a second chance. So let's say next week something happens to Carolyn and, I don't know, she's blindsided or whatever else happens. It's well, that's probably the real reason she needs a second chance, but we don't know that until now and, the voting's over. So I, of course, want Carolyn to win because if she wins, that's an extra female spot that's taken away. If she was in the top 10, then that bumps up the next person, so it increases the women's odds. But I've kind of been a Mike fan the entire season, so I'm also rooting for Mike to win.
It's interesting, Phil, because I personally think one of them is going to win. So, which one doesn't win, it's a win-win, really, for both of them, because one will win, one will no doubt be on the season. So,
Yeah, I know. It's really interesting. I've seen a lot of people kind of questioning why they're in the mix for 30 when they're still on, but I guess all will be revealed on Wednesday.
And let's be honest, Rodney was robbed. Why isn't Rodney in the mix for another shot, Kelley? I want my Rodney again.
You like Rodney?
I love Rodney.
He does do great impressions of people. It's so funny. At the beginning of the season, Rodney really bothered me, but as we've seen him in more episodes, I found him to be pretty funny. Although the birthday thing was a little bit annoying. Bro, I had a birthday and I didn't bitch like that. What's your deal? But yeah, he's funny. He's a funny character. I think he's he makes for good television, which at the end of the day, that's what we all want to see, right? So, Rodney's okay.
And I guess you can be thankful Dan's not perhaps on the list or something like that.
Oh, Dan Foley. I mean, what can you say about Dan?
Yes.
We
don't want to get you into trouble, Kelley, because we know how close the Worlds Apart cast are, and we don't want you saying something that might piss the current people off that might be on a season with you.
I'm not saying a word.
Don't say a word.
No.
I know a lot of people out there on Twitter and all that are trying to get people in alliances and stir the pot and get people excited with things. But one thing that I want to do, I haven't done it too much with these second chance interviews, but I want to try and put it in your head though, Kelley, for me as a fan of the Kelley name in Survivor. I would love there to be a Kelley alliance. Just putting it out there. We've got two Kelleys with W last names ending in Earth. My last name begins with a W and also ends in Earth. So look, to have the Kelley Wigglesworth Kelley Wentworth alliance would make Ben Waterworth very happy.
Got it. Okay, so you're on the Worth train. I see how this is going. It would be interesting to have two Kelleys out there that are so similar. I mean, I know we've had two Robs on before and two whoever, but one of us is going to have to go by our last name, right?
Well, I would expect that. Yeah, we've only ever had. I mean, there's been so many Kelleys, and it was only Nicaragua where we had two Kelleys on the same season. So, look, I love both Kelleys from Nicaragua, but sadly, neither didn't have a very good season. So, we want to change that with two Kelleys on the season that do well.
I know. Come on, guys. You've got to vote. If you're not sure which Kelley to vote for, just vote for both of us, because then you might get a Kel squared type situation, Yes. You never know. And you want to see Jeff be confused.
Yes.
He's going to be like, Kelley W, Wigglesworth, wait, I don't know.
Well, then,
Jeff, just call me Wentworth already.
Yes, because the two Kelleys, two W last names, you've got an E in your first name, but again, it's still a case of, wow, this is very similar names, but we like it. That's the main thing.
It makes it fun, right?
Yes, exactly. It's all about being fun. Now, Kelley, we're giving everyone an opportunity in these interviews before we let you go to campaign. Get up on your soapbox and really speak to the listeners about why they should vote for you. So please, get up on that box, clear that throat, and speak to the Survivor Oz listeners. Why do they need to vote for Kelley Wentworth?
Excuse me here. Let me get myself ready. I'm shaking it out. This is putting me on the spot here. No, in all seriousness, for everyone that's voted and continues to vote, first of all, thank you so much. It means that you can see my potential, and that means the world to me, because I have so much more to give in this game. I think, just, again, I've already said it, but just think, a blood versus water season. Think if your loved one is out there, if your dad is out there, that dude raised me, wiped my ass as a child. Do you know how hard it is to play with somebody? You can't think for yourself. So I'm really looking to you to vote me in so I can make my own moves. I want to show you my game. Remember that Drew episode, how many eye rolls, how much I hated that man. It's probably going to happen again. The confessionals are going to be good. I'm not holding back, you guys. I'm ready to go all in and do this thing. So please vote Wentworth.
And go to Twitter, check out your Twitter page, because you've got a bikini pic up now as well as your profile pic. So
hey! America. That's why you have to watch my video, because it ties in to my video.
All right, okay. As soon as I hang up, I'm watching it.
I don't just randomly have an American bikini, American flag bikini on. It all ties together. This is the Wentworth campaign, so you gotta watch the video. It'll all make sense.
Okay, I'm watching it. As soon as I get off the call here, I'm watching it, Kelley.
Okay, I expect a tweet about it. I'm gonna hold you to this.
Okay, then you've got it. Best of luck, Kelley. Only a couple of days, of course, as we said. Sincerely hope to see you out there for season 31. Enjoy Wednesday night. And we hope to get you back here on the show after 31 to chat about your win on season 31.
Yes, let's go, guys. I am praying. Fingers crossed we can do this thing. I hope I'm on that stage in the top 10 on Wednesday.
And there you go, Kelley Wentworth. A lot of fun. Always great getting her here on the show. And, would love to see her back on the show. No word of a lie. I have been voting for her. So we'll see how that goes in only a couple of days. Isn't this exciting? This is all coming to a pointed end. And at this time in 2 days, actually, to be precise, we will know in only a few hours who will be on the season. So, yeah. Getting very excited. Now, we've got a couple more second chance campaign interviews to come to close it all out. Jim Rice and Andrew Savage will close it out for you, unless we get any last minute ones, which, let's be honest, don't think is going to happen. And as you probably heard me mention in that interview too, we did do an exit poll where we asked you to vote and tell us who you're voting for currently in the cast to sort of get an idea of how this might turn out. And some very interesting results. SurvivorOz.com, you can see that, and that also can spur you into action for maybe a few of your ones that you really want on. We're getting a lot of comments saying that certain people should be on over other people. Well, look, we can't do anything about that. We've just put a poll up. If you want to change that, make sure you're voting every single day for your favourites to return. We unfortunately can't influence the vote. We can keep voting, but make sure you do, because that's the only way to make it the vote change. Not that our vote necessarily makes the overall vote, but it's just an idea, a rough idea of how it might turn out. Thank you for tuning in to the Kelley Wentworth Survivor Second Chance campaign interview. We'll be back very shortly with more. My name is Ben, the Tribe has spoken. We will speak to you next time here on Survivor Oz on The Trains.